The first core concept is to understand the prospect. This is where we start really with all of the different functional things that we teach you, whether it's cold calling. When you're cold calling, we want you to start by understanding the person that you're calling. When you are starting a cold email effort, we want you to start to understand the prospect when you're creating those email messages. When you're getting around objections and trying to get around objections or deal with gatekeepers, we want you to start by trying to understand the other person that you're dealing with. This is a core concept that you can apply to your personal life as well. Like when you're dealing with your kids, if you're in a conflict situation, really with anybody, you're trying to buy something, negotiate, deal with your kids, you're in an argument with a partner or employee in your business, the first place to start is by trying to understand the other person. You can even let the other person know that you understand where they're coming from. That's a great disarming tactic that you can use, especially if you're butting heads with someone. And where I learned this was from one of the 7 habits of highly effective people from Dr. Stephen Covey. One of his habits is seek first to understand in order to be understood. And so what that means is let's take your kids for example. Let's say that you're arguing with your kids, let's say one of your kids wants to borrow the car and you're not letting them borrow the car and they're getting upset with you. And so before you try to teach them why they don't deserve the car or why you're not giving them the car, first of all, you can try to understand why is it that they want the car and why are they frustrated that they don't have the car. Then what you could do as a tactic is to communicate that you understand where they're coming from. For example, before you try to teach them where you're coming from, you can try to educate them on by saying something like this. Hey, listen, Tom, I understand you really want the car this weekend. You were really excited about this, and it's a major disappointment for you not to get the car. I understand the reason why, and then you can go on to explain your position. Now, that it still might not be smooth sailing after that, but that simple fact of letting them know that you understand them can improve your odds of at least getting your point across and somewhere ending up in the middle or persuading them where you're coming from. If you don't let them understand and they think that you don't understand their situation, they will get more frustrated and planted in their position, fighting you against your position. How do we apply this to sales? When you are making a cold call, it's a little bit of a conflict situation. If you try to understand the prospect, you're in a much better place to figure out how to handle the cold call, what to say. And that comes into play, whether it's cold call, cold email, objection responses, delivering presentations, trying to close, whatever. So we will keep coming back to understand the prospect. And whenever we're talking about a key area, we will connect that particular concept with how it applies to cold calling, cold emailing, objection responses.